All right, everybody, welcome. Tonight we get to hear from some of the leaders that advanced last month. So last month was phenomenal. Who all was so excited about just how things went in general in your business? Just with, wow. Can you imagine the amount of people that you guys have touched just in November? Like, holy smokes. That is just amazing. Seriously, like literally changing the world one person at a time. So you guys, kudos to all of you. We are so proud of all of you. And thank you for showing up with us tonight. We really, really appreciate it. So we are going to have a few of the leaders that advanced last month. And we're going to have these guys talk about just a little bit of their, oh my goodness, their experience and what this means to them, and then we'll kind of go from there. So Caitlin actually is on Jennifer Yates's team, and I'm not even going to start to attempt to do teams and leaders and all of that because I will totally mess it up. But I do know that Joanna and Jennifer and Caitlin are connected closely. So with Caitlin, I just recently started noticing what she was doing on Facebook, and I just want to talk just briefly about what I have seen happening, because I really believe that what is happening is very duplicatable, and I think that's super important. And so I think it's awesome. I think the growth in what you're doing, Caitlin, is amazing. So I would love to hear about your experience and how it all went for you.
First of all, I can't even believe you're talking to me, and I might even cry. So I'm sorry if I do. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry, it's like starstruck. Jen and Joanna are like, oh my God. So I don't know even what to say. We just came off of our call, so I can kind of, are we talking about whys or just how this felt to advance?
Yeah, so we're actually talking about dreams in general. So why don't we talk about a hurdle? What was your biggest hurdle that you overcame on the way to your rank?
Getting over what people think. And I think I'm still not over that, but I'm getting past it. Because you're always going to have the skeptics and the people who don't want to hear anything about, essential oils and what they're going to do, and how it's even changed your life, or people that you've touched directly. So I think that's been my biggest thing, and my self-confidence, as Jen probably knows better than anybody else. Still isn't where I want it to be, but it's much better than it was before I started this with Jen and Joanna in June. So
awesome. So how does it feel to achieve your first big dream and rank? By the way, first is just that first.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I hope to be, where you are in the next couple of years, for sure. Sitting on Diamond with my friends there. It feels pretty amazing. It feels like, I feel like I am helping to change people's lives. And I think that's why we're all doing this, one drop at a time, one person at a time, changing people's lives in big ways. So now achieving another rank with a lot of help from Jen and Joanna, for sure. It just means the world, and again, like, helps with my self-confidence and believe that I can continue to do this and continue to achieve ranks and go on and get to, like I said, where you are someday.
So how long did it take you to get to Premier, from the time that you set the goal for Premier?
I don't think I really sat down and said, like, this is when I want to hit Premier, but I started this in June with Jen, and from the beginning we've all said to the top. So it was just, in this amount of time, things have just started to kind of blow up, and I have more people like interested now, so I'm hoping that these ranks are just going to come not easier, because they're not, but it's going to be like, again, you're sprinkling things and it's just spreading a little bit more and more as time goes on, and people are coming to me now, which is a different thing, which is really nice. So yeah, 6 months. Sorry.
Awesome. Great job.
Thank you.
Super
very
proud
much.
of you. Good
Thank
job.
you very much.
Good job. So our next one is Neil and Crystal. So Crystal is actually on LaTerran's team, but we got a chance to meet Crystal when we were in Libby, Crystal and Neil in Libby, Montana this summer. So they are actually full-time. So that was an amazing opportunity and experience. And it's kind of along the same lines. It's just been awesome to watch you guys just spring forward just in your excitement and your confidence. And so I'd love to hear how you feel about all this.
Oh goodness. I think that initially I didn't know what to expect, and we really didn't have a ton of guidance in the beginning. I just was blindly jumping in and okay with that. And then we met with you, and we had literally, like in January that this year, we decided, okay, this is something we want to do. And then we slowly were learning how to do everything and figuring it out. And then we left to go full time. Like all that time we were working on starting to build, but also preparing to sell everything, all of our house, getting into the RV and starting to travel. And we went and we're traveling. We met with you, and that was kind of a turning point mentally. I think it still took a while for the wheels to turn and figure everything out, but we finally said, you said, do it with intention. And it made such an impact on my heart. And I thought, okay, well, what does that mean? And then saying, let's set some goals. And I'm not a goal oriented or a task type person. That's his side. I really just jump in and just go. And I'm more of that rocket who just never stops. And he has to slow me down and say, okay, let's take a breath. Let's figure out what's our plan. And I don't need a plan, so I really do need a plan, but I just don't think that way. And so it's been really, really good. I think for us overall, it's been, I think maybe slower than other people, but the relationships that we've built have been tremendous. The friendships we're making, like occasionally people don't call back, and that's tough on us. That's tough on me because I take it personally sometimes, but I also have learned to let it go. It's not something I can control, but I want them to come, you know what I mean? And then I love that feeling of someone connecting with me and then just having a new friendship, because I can be friends with many people and then learning to just love them for who they are, no matter if they're going to be a builder or anything. Just knowing that I help them a little, it drives me to go to the next level. So I don't know that like I said, I'm not a goal type person. I don't see where I'm at. Like, it's not financially driven for us. We just are whatever it takes to go out and do this. Because once we went to convention, he then jumped on board. I think he kind of saw the passion from everyone else, husbands included, and was like, okay, let's do this. And when he jumped on board, that was when the managing of the family stuff became more manageable, because we homeschool 4 kids and we are in an RV full time traveling everywhere. So it's been tough. There have been challenges, and like, I'm a premier, and 3 times already I've wanted to quit. I mean, it's been hard, but he's like, it's okay. We don't quit when it's a bad day, and it's not that it was a bad day so much as I was worn out and I just needed to take a break. And so I don't know that I got a break yet. I don't know that we got sick. We had a few different things. I was just worn out. But I see that vision, and every time I've wanted to quit, someone else on our team comes and it's like they enrolled their first person, or they shared with someone and it was really exciting. They themselves had jumped a hurdle and didn't realize it was a hurdle until they jumped it, and then they were like, this huge weight was lifted off of them and they feel like they can do this now. That is what keeps me going, that passion. So it's been really good. I was listening, I've been listening to that Eric Worrell, I think that's his name. Worry, there you go. And all my thoughts in the first 13 minutes of his video were clarified, because I was having all these thoughts, but I couldn't put it in words. And the ability to let everything go he's like the top 3 things, let everything go. It's negative things are going to happen, but let it go. I was like, oh, that is exactly right. Because I've been letting things go. Just keep on going. Having a positive attitude no matter what. There have been several different instances where things were really negative, but just reframing it and taking the positive out of it, that's been incredible. Like just learning yourself, that's been a nice change. And then staying in action, like the times I wanted to quit, and just keep on going. So that's been kind of a test of yourself kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think it was probably a bigger milestone for me when we finally hit premiere than for Crystal, because she lives 6 inches in front of her face every day, all the time. She's just going, and I'm more looking at the long-term things, and so it was nice to see that the hard work, just the continual day-to-day doing things consistently, coming together and continuing to, even today, to just all those seeds that we're planting starting to bear fruit. It's been really neat to see, and it's been awesome to watch her teach classes and just do things like that. She's really in her element doing that. So it's been really cool to watch her, so just to see her blossom and start to do that. It's been pretty awesome. And getting to work together is really cool. And that's one of the further goals that we have eventually, just to do this and that be it. And just working together has been really great.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I was going to comment on, is that we have several leaders that are partnered with their partners. And it's inspiring. I think it's really powerful. And eventually the men come on board, but it's awesome to see the men come on board in the very beginning. And I don't know, and it's not, and I say men because in general it is the woman that starts, and then it takes a minute for the man to come on board. The roles are reversed in some situations, but I do think that I just think that when the couples can come together, there is power in more ways than just the business. I think that energetically, spiritually, all of that, I think it's powerful.
Yeah, I think one of us is ready to quit, the other one's ready to pump the other one up, so it really balances.
Yeah.
And when we first got started, there wasn't a lot of men in it until their wives hit like the diamond stage. Then you'd see a lot more guys hanging around. At convention, there was a few there that the wives drug them to the convention, but you could tell that they were being drugged. You didn't have to drag me to convention ever.
First one, you didn't really want to.
Never.
You went because
after Diamond Day, I went to everything.
That's true.
Don't even.
That's true.
She had to drag me. We went to what was called Diamond Day, which at that time there was about 10 diamonds, and there was about 5 of them speaking. And I still thought it was a bunch of crap and baloney and everything else. And I didn't want to go to that. But after I went to that first one, then I was on board. And that was only a few months after you started. So
Okay,
don't
my
even
bad,
go there.
my bad.
Anyway, but looking just at our group right now, there's almost like 50% husbands in there. And it's husbands that have been in there since the beginning. They didn't have to get drug into it. Everybody that I see here has pretty much been on board since his wife started. And that's really, really great to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to be, everybody'd always say, what should we do next? Or what's the best thing we can do? And we would always tell them the best thing you could do is get your husband on board and do it as a team. And that's when things are going to take off. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. I mean, you can see it here.
Yeah.
Everybody that ranked this month is a couple. And I wish I had room for all the guys on the buses, but I don't. You have to wait till platinum, guys. So hurry up.
Hey, Mark, we need a tow behind trailer, Harley trailer you can put us on.
There you go.
That's a great idea. Oh, there you go. That's a really good idea.
But then if the bigger I make things, then the smaller the heads are. You wouldn't be able to tell who anybody was.
So speaking of husband and wife, we're going to move on to Mike and Amanda Whitman.
Silver this month.
Yes. And Amanda, she is like, we can count on seeing her face with us regularly.
That is really true. We have 7 children, and my primary role is caregiver right now. And so I have a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old, which means that I'm home a lot, or at Target. One of those 2 places is where you will find me.
And not working at Target.
No. It lends itself to a lot of Zoom chats and a lot of continuing education, which is a good thing.
So what was your biggest hurdle, do you think, that you overcame?
I think I would say, I'm not sure about the hurdle. I think the things that have made the biggest difference for us really have been the relationships with people. That's helped us get over hurdles. And we've had even kind of a physical hurdle, I would say, that we had a baby in January, and that didn't go real well. Amanda nearly died. Our baby nearly died. And Amanda came out of that with, I don't know if you can say compliance-wise, when something traumatic happens and you're after or post that experience. And so we had decided really last December that we were going to get serious about building. And then that all happened, and we really didn't do anything, couldn't do anything. And then about July of this year, Michael and Courtney Owens, our amazing uplines, they put together an event down in St. Louis. We're up in Lincoln, Nebraska. We went down and met a lot of different people from the team. And for me, that's really what turned the corner for me, was meeting all these amazing people, catching a vision for what we could do through doTERRA.
And really meeting people who were so like-minded that we couldn't help but want to do our life with them. Yeah. Like, we want to build with the other silvers that are on Courtney and Michael's team. We want to hang out with Courtney and Michael. Like, Courtney and I enjoy talking every day. It never feels like work. It just feels like, oh my gosh, look at all these best friends that we've made.
Yeah. Well, and they're so genuine in the way they care about people, and them having a big family too. They have 7 kids as well. That I felt like that took away any excuse that we had, that I couldn't say, well, we're so busy, because they had already done it. And
the PTSD was a really good excuse, though.
That was a good
really
excuse.
Long time.
So I think those relationships and that vision, that was enough for me to be convinced, hey, we need to get to convention. That I kind of went back and forth and said, hey, wait a minute. If this is a business, shouldn't we be making money, not spending so much money on going to convention? And we just decided we were going to go.
We were barely elite when we were going to convention, by the way.
Well, I think we hit premiere because of the BOGO in July. So convention for me was a huge corner of, in fact, even at convention, we both kind of had some hard moments together of like, what are we doing? What's going on here? And the PTSD was just so much that she was exhausted. I was exhausted. And we got our convention kit that included Copaiba. And that was miraculous for us. I mean, I really feel like Amanda had been gone for about 9 months, and then Amanda was back. And it was because of the people.
Wow.
And just what Copaiba had done for her and for us, and then spending that much time around people that we didn't feel like the weird oiled people, or the natural people. That everybody we were around was kind and generous and optimistic and positive, and we just felt like these are our people. This is where we belong. We have a mission just like they do. We really can change healthcare in America. I mean, part of my vision is right here in Lincoln, Nebraska, that we're going to heal Lincoln, Nebraska, a town of almost 300,000 people. It's going to start with us, and we're going to do it. And so Amanda since then has just gone crazy in a good way of really building our business. And it's funny, I looked, we kind of came home in July with some goals of, hey, maybe if we're really lucky and work hard here, we might be premier 3 months in a row. That was my goal, is let's solidify that October, November, December. And, maybe by, I think it was summer of next year, it was maybe by then we could be silver if we just really go crazy. And here we are. So I think early on, I forget what the exact quote was, but it's something about, it's amazing how much reaching your dreams looks like hard work most of the time. And I know Amanda's really adopted that vision, that she's always working, always looking for ways to share, always looking for people she can help. And it's amazing what happens when you care more about other people and helping them, how that to me is really where we've seen the success come in. That even for me mentally, I had to get over, what are my friends on Facebook going to think, and what are people going to say if I'm just pushy about this? And I had to figure out, it's not about me anymore. It's about them. It's about if they're open to oils or not. But if I can help people have that opportunity, because somebody gave us that opportunity to experience doTERRA years ago. And so that's, I think the people, and like I said, the product Copaiba just has changed everything for us.
That's fantastic. Wow, what a change in less than a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm really, really glad to see you here. I had no idea. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we all are too, including
wow.
Me. And like he described it as just being gone. I literally, it was like whenever you need glasses and then you put on your glasses and you're like, oh, the trees have leaves. It was that dramatic change between Copaiba and no Copaiba.
Wow.
Within days. It took 4 days to not feel that way anymore, and about a month to be like back in my boots and we're doing this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Well, between you guys and the Owens, you have almost enough people to start your own little doTERRA town.
That's about right.
Yeah, and we have a couple of weirdo kids that are empaths, and I'm telling you, we are raising strong women. We are raising generous men, and we're raising some really powerful world changers around here, and it's exciting to watch. I mean, even my 7-year-old ran upstairs after school, and I was like, why do you have the deep blue rub? Remember, a little bit goes a long way, like you do with deep blue rub. But she goes, Mom, I got it. I twisted my knee at recess, and I've been waiting all day to come home to grab the deep blue rub. And I'm thinking, my 7-year-old gets it. We're on to something here.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So next up is Jennifer Yates. I lost her oh, there you are. So we had the last week, and it was a very powerful sizzle. And Jennifer actually made gold pretty early in the month. But she is a firehouse and just inspiring to watch. So
she changes buses every month.
I like to travel.
How you doing? I'm happy to move you.
Thank you. It's exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. So how does this feel?
It was amazing. So we actually were on our call before this, we were talking about, you know, our why, and my why was I had like an opportunity when I joined doTERRA. I was working full time and a part-time job, and then picked up doTERRA. And my why at that time was I had been laid off of my job, and it was like the doors opened. It was like a sign, really. And so my goal was to go at this full force. And once I got started, I fell in love. I fell in love with what I was doing, and it really is my passion. It really is my passion, and I can't help but talk about it 24/7 to anyone that will listen to me, really. But you know, it was amazing to hit gold, and now I'm like looking forward to the next rank, and so it's really, really exciting.
So you did it pretty quick. So did you have any hurdles? I think everybody has a hurdle here or there, blocks.
Yeah.
What did you have? What was it that sticks out that you broke through?
So like I totally had hurdles. Time management was my big one. And it was because I was and I'm going to be blunt about me prior to this. I was never good at completing a task. I was never good at finishing something. I would always start something, you know, whether it be a career path or a project or anything like that. And it always stuck with me, like I never finished. And then when I started this, I just knew I found my place, because when I hit that gold, or when I hit silver and then gold, like I could feel that drive in me, like this was what I needed, you know? And so I definitely had hurdles. My hurdle was time management, because I love it so much that I would give this 18, 19 hours a day. But I have a family, you know, I have a home. I have to shower. You know what I mean? But like, you know, that was time management was definitely a hurdle for me, and trying to set aside time for my business, and then time for myself mentally, and then time for my family. So that was probably my biggest hurdle. I'm still working on it.
I was kind of like that in the beginning. I didn't have kids at home, so I was literally up all hours of the night working doTERRA, and then getting up to go and do my job. And I would be uncomfortable telling people that I was working all hours of the night, because I was, you know, trying to be able to quit my job, and I was working at doTERRA, but I loved it. It wasn't because I felt like I had to. I just loved it. It was inspiring, and it was motivating, and I could really see what was coming. So
yeah, I totally agree. It's when I started receiving like my first messages about something that someone was thanking me for the suggestion of what oils that they could use, or the vitamins, and like we were just like, you could literally sense the emotion behind that message, and like that would get me goosebumps and teary-eyed, and then we're having like a big love fest between these messages. But it was such a good feeling. It's like it's my passion to help people. I've always wanted to be, you know, I've always loved helping people, so now I feel like I found it.
Awesome. Those messages don't stop. They just keep coming, and they never get old, ever.
Yeah.
Those are, I tell people, I think it's kind of addicting to get those messages. Like you want to just keep going so you can get those messages.
Yeah, it is. Like you want the next person to get a good night's sleep, or you want the next person to feel good, or have those aches and pains, you know, subside. Like it is. It's like an addiction, but it's a great addiction, because then they're feeling as good as you are, you know?
Yep. It's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You want to do them?
Michael and Courtney, platinums.
Hello.
How's that feel?
It feels weird. Surreal.
It's really weird.
Maybe we should have waited and asked everybody after the 15th.
Right?
Yeah.
It'll feel really good then.
Yeah.
I'm going to be platinum after the
Well,
15th.
Actually, I should say we had a choice to make. We could have been solid gold and gone for a 1,500 bonus, and I think if I did the math right, that would have made us more money. But we made a choice.
A few days into BOGOs.
No, it was after BOGOs.
Yeah.
And we were doing our own BOGOs and trying to kind of push and see what was going to happen. And there was some gaps, and it didn't look like we were going to get everybody to silver, but we basically said, you know what, we're going to see who we can help. Let's get as many of our leaders to silver. Let's get as many people to elite as possible, and we'll just go from there. And
we'll see what happens.
Who cares about the paycheck in December? We're investing in our people, and let's get people to leadership. And so that's what we did. So, our paycheck's going to be great, but at the same time, I'm thinking, man, our paycheck could have been better, but I'm so
That's
happy.
His brain. His brain thinks that way.
My brain thinks that way, but my heart is so happy. And Mike and Amanda, I'm about to burst into tears, and I'm not much of a crier, but.
Good job, Whitmans. Yeah,
that's really what it's all about for us.
Yeah. Yeah, we did not expect to hit platinum last month. I think that's why we're still kind of in shock. We have been pretty slow, not slow, but average progression. It took us 18 months exactly to hit silver. It took us another year to hit gold. And that was even with Diamond Club in there. We've done Diamond Club once. And it really solidified some things for us for sure. And it was 100% worthwhile, but it wasn't, I think in my head, I'm a very goal-oriented person, 100%. I wake up every day and I have a checklist, and you better believe that checklist will be done at the end of the day, or I'm like, it's over, I'm a failure, everyone hates me. It's who I am. That achievement is I gotta do it. And so I set really big, often a little too big goals, and so I can tend to set myself up for failure, only because I just have such huge ideas and dreams. And bonus is I have this guy to kind of pull me back and be like, hey, maybe we should solidify silver before we shoot for gold and make people want to run away from us. So it took us all that time, and then now it's only taken 4 months to hit platinum. And so we're just I'm like, what do you mean I can dream big? It's actually happening. It's actually going to all come together. But I think a big part of that was about July, we had a major shift in our business. And I can't even explain. I think just in the last 4 months, the amount of builders and serious sharers they've been just coming out of the woodwork. I don't even know where these people were. You haven't ordered in over a year. Are you still active? What's happening? Why do you want to build a business? And what you put out there is what's going to come back. And we have just been really blessed by the individuals that have come out of the woodwork. I mean, when Mike and Amanda were talking about the relationships, I told Teresa about the day before we hit, she's our right above us upline. The day before it actually happened, I told her, I think that maybe this is going to happen. And I'm not sure what to think of it, but to be really honest, I think we were starting to see 2 of them had already it had changed over in back office, and we saw silver. I told her I'd rather see 1,000 of them hit silver.
Really cool.
Oh, it's the best ever. I would rather see 1,000 of our leaders hit silver than to ever see the words platinum show up in our back office. I will be gold forever if I can watch them achieve their goals. And it's just the best ever. I'm so excited. Our dreams have shifted
it's not really so much about ours, although I'm kind of dying to get him home from his job. Not gonna lie, really want it because 7 kids and trying to do this, and it's a lot. He's not super in love with his job anyway, so it's like, we don't need it. But beyond that, our dreams have really shifted to our leaders and getting to watch them achieve their goals and their dreams, and that's so much better than I even thought it ever could be. It's really amazing. Yeah.
So a lot of you know, go along those lines, a lot of you know that our dream is to, for those of you that don't know, we rent a limo every year for the new Diamonds, Blue Diamonds, and we give them a ride from their hotel to the gala or gala, whichever one you want to say. But so that is our dream, to have a fleet of limos with diamonds in it. So that's our goal, is to help as many people as we can get to diamond. So speaking of diamonds, Jennifer Mixdorf is one of our new diamonds. How does that feel?
Hello, pretty awesome.
Has it sunk in yet?
Not really. Kind of came as a surprise a little bit, so.
So I would imagine it was quite a scurry the last few days of the month.
Yeah, SPOGO week was pretty crazy, just trying to get everybody organized and continuing to like touch base with everybody. Where are they at? Back office isn't updating, so lots of, yes. My leaders really stepped up quite a bit that week, actually. I was super surprised, especially some of the people that hadn't really been as active. All of a sudden were doing stuff and enrolling people, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. I definitely could not have done it without them. So yeah, very excited for all of them, obviously, to kind of hit things that they've been working on for quite a while and kind of seeing that come together. And just hopefully they can kind of keep momentum going and kind of see where they can go from there.
Awesome. So what kind of hurdles have you broke through during this process to reach diamond?
I think for me, a lot of it's mindset. I tend to kind of get down on myself and negative. You talk to somebody and they don't want to enroll when you thought they were for sure going to enroll, and you kind of doubt yourself, or at least I do. So my husband's really good at kind of keeping me in check and reminding me, like, well, you're doing the right things. You're talking, you're teaching classes, so trying to focus on maybe different goals for me, like just focusing on the baby steps. I know what I need to do every single day. I need to invite people to classes. I need to teach, get them set up an LRP, like focusing more on those type of goals versus looking at, oh, I didn't meet rank or whatever this month. Was very helpful for me. And just kind of looking ahead and just being consistent on things that I know I need to do and making myself do it, even when I don't want to have to pick up the phone. One thing I've been doing more recently is doing like regular customer service calls for my enrollments. And so even after I hit diamond in December, I did not want to pick up the phone because I felt lazy and did not want to have to call people, but I forced myself to do it because obviously it helped me get to where I am now. And so I figure it can only help keep moving forward. And I really think that it's something I want my builders to do also. And so we all know that you really want to set that good example for them. So I always try to keep that in mind. Like, what do I want my people to do? Well, then I better be doing that.
Right. So in the process of reaching this goal, as far as where you start with your dreaming and the goals, where are you now compared to, have you broke through, have you expanded the ability to dream?
I think so, definitely, yeah. I was thinking about this, I think it was today or yesterday, actually. I remember going to like a, hey, here's about the doTERRA business type of thing, like, I don't know, probably 3 years ago, and hearing it like, oh my gosh, silver would be awesome, which obviously it is super awesome, but that was like my like huge goal, and then like, you're like, oh my gosh, I can do more, like really, like, so yeah, I guess diamond has been a goal of mine, like for quite a while, you know, like this is where I want to be, you know, solid diamond. So who knows, I don't know from here what we want to achieve. It's actually funny, my husband, he's always been like, let's just be solid diamond, like, you know, 15th of the month, diamond type of thing, like our goal. And then he said something about, oh yeah, I said when we hit blue diamond. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, so it's kind of funny, like hearing him like actually say that, I guess was surprising because not, I guess what I've been thinking. So.
Awesome. I think that cool thing about the dreaming when we first start, they are very small, and I mean once you start moving up, each rank seems to expand that vision even more. And diamond is one of those ranks that people just automatically go to, so it does seem to be like a different kind of breakthrough when you reach that rank. And then the vision just seems to kind of expand. It did for me anyway. It just expanded a lot faster and a lot bigger once I reached that part of it. So I don't know, to me it's very cool to watch the light bulb go on for everyone, no matter where they're at, when it comes to even allowing themselves to dream, and then to all of a sudden have that belief that, yeah, I can do this, and I can help other people do it too. And then it just snowballs from there. Then there's no stopping you. So great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So Joyce Day is our next diamond.
And Tobias.
Oh, you are there.
Hey.
Hi, Tobias.
How you guys
So
doing?
we've had an opportunity to be able to go to different events with Joyce and Toby, and it's
it was like I don't know, we just had kind of a special connection with Joyce all along. We've seen her go through a lot of ups and downs and hurdles and slowdowns, and she just keeps plugging away. And sometimes, I mean, I've heard her say, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it. And then something happens, but that doesn't last very long when she has that attitude. But we've seen her go to Les Brown and be a public speaker and all kinds of things. I mean, she's got a special place, and we're really, really, really happy for you.
Thanks, guys. It's pretty cool to have stuck with it this long and to finally get there. It is surreal, and you know, it's really fun. This is a really cool layout for a call. Kudos to you guys for thinking of it. I love hearing the different ranks, you know, moving along here. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome, thank you. So we don't like to focus on speed of rank, and so, but I do want to talk. Like Mark said, you've had times where it's like it's been hard, and so I would love to hear just how the way that you feel from doing this has to be just amazing.
It does feel pretty amazing, and it has been one heck of a journey, and I think I was thinking about your question, you know, what are the hurdles that we've overcome? And I think the first year, it was really, I'm usually a very driven person that is used to kind of making things happen, and nothing gets in my way. And there's times in my life where I've kind of been captured by this laser focus, you know, where something takes over and I'm driven, and I will work as hard as I have to until that happens. And that's kind of the approach that I took to doTERRA. And that only works for so long. And then, you know, you kind of hit a wall. And so my first year, I was on such a mission, you know, a little bit of my story, I was just desperate to get out of my job, I had this beautiful, sweet little baby girl at home, and it was just killing me that she was spending 50 hours a week in daycare. And I felt like I was up against a wall, like I had no choice. This had to happen. I felt like I just physically could not live with the situation the way that it was. I mean, it was just, I can't even describe it. I mean, those words don't even account for it. To drive a woman who has this great job, great career, worked a long time to get there, was fully planning to stay in that career for 30 years, and then to be completely taken off in this other direction, and to be so just convicted that this had to happen, it was tough. And so I threw myself into it and worked really hard the first year. And boy, I mean, it tested our marriage. It tested the one thing I wanted the most, which was to spend more time with my daughter, was the thing I had to sacrifice that first year to get over that hurdle.
That was hard to take in.
It was hard. It was hard on our family. People weren't really saying it verbally to me, but it's been interesting now that we've been in this for 4 years. I quit my job 2.5 years ago, and we just keep plugging away, and we've had more and more success with it. And so we're starting to hear from some of our family and friends some of the things that they wouldn't tell us back in the beginning. So, we've had people say things like, yeah, when I heard you quit your job, I thought you're crazy, and it's like, it's weird to think that people are thinking those things, they kind of are, but to have them tell you that 2 years later, it's kind of like, wow. So that was the first year. And then I quit my job, and here I got my why. So then I think I went through a hard time trying to figure out who was I, because I was a hydrogeologist. I worked my whole life. That was a huge part of who I was. And even though I was desperate to get out of that job for my daughter's sake, at the same time, it was a really big deal for me to leave my corporate job. It's not like I didn't hate it. I loved the job. I loved the work. I loved what I did. So then I went through that challenge the second year, and I kind of lost my way for a while, and I got distracted, and I decided that just being in doTERRA wasn't enough, and that I needed to do all these things. All of a sudden it's like taking off the bridle, and the horse is like, wow, I can go anywhere. I can do anything. And so then I started thinking, I can build a website, and I can become a public speaker, and I can get out there and impact people. And I think I started thinking like a diamond before I was diamond. So here I wanted to go out and change the world, and so that pulled me in a lot of different directions and distracted me from my business. And that happened right about the time compliance struck. And so then I was like, well, maybe I need to build a second income. Maybe I need to do all these things. So that was tough for a year or two. I got distracted, and then
spread yourself thin across many different avenues. But that's where it came about. That's how we had Diamond, is you kind of veered away from all that and stayed focused on just doTERRA. And not that you let other things go. There's still ideas, and there's still things, options and possibilities, and the future looks bright. But for a while there, you let go of all that and stayed focused, and then that's when we hit.
Yeah. So this year has really been, and last year we had a really tough year. I mean, Toby's dad got sick, and, we walked him through, a bout with cancer, and he passed away in October. And so last year I didn't really, we were just trying to survive last year. And so this year, we got into the new year, and I realized just what Toby said. I need to narrow my focus. I need to get, I love these things that I'm doing, but they're all distracting me from creating the financial security that we really want and need together as a family. So this year I set aside a lot of those things I was working on temporarily, and I just focused on doTERRA. And I'd say the two big shifts that I've had this year is, one, I got some real sales training, not pushy, cheesy salesperson sales training, legitimate, how can I best serve my customer and my team training, which has been amazing. And secondly, I've really been working to bring God into my business and really let him drive the bus, and I'm just here to row the boat, right? That's two different analogies in the same thing, but you get the idea. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, is really now how can I serve God through doTERRA? And then that's the thing. Every time I've hit obstacles, whether it was my first year I remember getting one of my first paychecks, and it was like $65. And I think I was premier at that point, but I ranked really fast my first year. I ranked to gold my first year. And then I got that like a $65 paycheck, and I called Tracy like almost every other month. I would call Tracy Kennebeck and be like, Tracy, seriously, I need you to tell me I'm going to be able to make real money at this. Like, I need to know, because a hydrogeologist, I made pretty good money. That's a pretty good salary to have to replace. And so I was really, really struggling with all that. So I would always pray when I hit those moments where I felt frustrated. I knew I couldn't quit because this was the only way out of that tight spot that I felt like I was in. So I knew I couldn't quit, but boy, I had a lot of really low moments. And every time I've ever hit that with my business, I've always just prayed and asked God to show me, am I on the right path? Is this where I'm meant to be? And every time I've done that, literally every single time I've done that, something amazing has happened shortly thereafter. Just like one of the other speakers had said, somebody called me that I hadn't heard from in a year. Or somebody called me that I talked to a year ago, and they finally called and said, hey, I want to get a kit. Or something awesome would happen with somebody on my team. And it felt like it was always that God saying, yes, you're in the right spot. This is where you're supposed to be. Keep moving forward. So I just feel incredibly blessed, and I'm excited. Now I feel like I'm becoming a conduit. And now that I've hit diamond, it's like blue diamond and presidential diamond seem impossible. Presidential still feels that way. But now it's like you hit diamond, you take a few days to adjust, and it's like, okay, maybe, blue diamond by the end of the year. And so I put that out to God and said, God, I think we should go for blue diamond. If we do, the ball's in your court. But think of the things we could do, God. We're the perfect, please move through us. And now Toby's on board with me with all that. And now we're dreaming big together. Like, we have ideas of a nonprofit that we would like to get going. And we want to really work to help the hungry. There's a lot of hungry people in the world, and a lot of kids that are going without. And so now we can dream big, and we just are so excited to have an impact on people. So it's pretty awesome.
Awesome. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iris put in the comments that, about like-minded people. And I really feel like our team is like, we are all like-minded. So, like when I started the business, my goal was to have one whole team just for ministry. And it's funny how our ideas and our plans are great. They are. But God's is always better. And so whatever I tried to do in order to build that one team to be able to be focused solely on ministry, it just didn't work. And over the course of time, I realized that my goal was so much smaller than what he had in mind. And so instead of just having one leg that was solely focused on ministry, our whole team really is like that. And there's part of my heart when I think about that, and I hear people sorry. I just think that, we just draw the people to us, and the more we really focus on serving and loving other people, that's where our success comes from. And it is the like-mindedness. And I look at all of you, and sometimes it's hard for me to say, yeah, it's like draws like, and it feels weird for me to say that I have people on my team that are drawn because we're all alike, because you guys feel so much better than me. I'm just so proud to have you guys with us. And I love that God is in so many. He's just a really big part of the whole team and the whole business. And it's a faith thing. We all need something bigger than us. Good grief, we just do. And to have it when that people are just not ashamed to say that, I think is even more powerful. So thanks for sharing that part, because that's important to me. That's the way it's been for me from the very beginning. And I mean, everybody is on their own journey when it comes to the spiritual aspect of things. So it's by no means to me a religious thing. This really is a very spiritual journey, and everybody has their own part in it. So
I think managing a business like this can be so emotionally draining, and there's such a roller coaster aspect to it, and there's the holding your breath and the that temptation to try to manipulate and to push hard and to get people to do what you want and to focus on your own stuff, and that can just, it's so exhausting, and it makes it hard, and it's not fun. And this year, and I didn't bring God into my business the last 3 years. I tried to, I mean, it was exhausting. And to this year, and I know I'm not talking about this from a religious perspective. You can look at it any angle you want to, but just making your peace with, I'm not in charge of this. I'm just here to do the work, and God's going to take me where I need to go, because it made it so much easier. It lets me be okay, that if they don't sign up, it's okay. And if my builder jumps ship and goes to another team, it's okay. And if somebody doesn't like working with me and they partner with somebody else and they're going to do that, it's okay. And if somebody that started 6 months ago is making double what I'm making and they're ranking 5 times faster than I did, it's okay, because God's plan is for me to do what I'm doing. And that has made all the difference for me this year. So
yeah,
it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah. Preach it, sister. So I think I saw Laura Stone on here.
Right there.
Oh, yeah. So Laura has had quite a time of things in the last month. So I'll let Laura share what she wants to share as far as that part of her journey. But Laura is also full-time in her RV, so we got a chance to visit with her a little bit. Just it was a month ago, the last full moon. We had an awesome time on the river. But we love Laura and Joe, and super, super excited for you guys. So I'd love to hear.
Laura's our blue diamond.
Yes.
Where'd she go?
I don't know.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, you're muted. There you go.
I'm unmuted.
Yes.
Speak, Laura.
Let me just preface before I start talking that Romy asked me last night about talking on this call, and I have been feeling so under the weather the last couple of days. I wasn't even sure if I would join in, but I really wanted to hear everybody else's talking, especially, and just get to say a few words. So hopefully I won't have to talk too long. You won't make me talk too long, right?
No, you say what you want.
Yeah.
We have oils.
I know, and I have been using them a lot. It was not until, I guess I'll kind of start with what Romy was talking about a little bit about what we've had going on. It's been very crazy. So it was more than mid, like a third of the way through November almost, we found out my grandma passed away. And so we jetted home as fast as we could. And I'm a little emotional too, hearing everybody else's stories too, before I got to mine. So I'm already kind of emotionally like elevated right now. But so we found out, my grandma passed away, and we got home as fast as we could. And we got through, this was the week right before Thanksgiving. So we were really busy with her funeral, and we do live in our RV full time. So we basically rushed home and moved into my parents' house. So me and Joe and the kids are living in my parents' house right now. This is my mom's office, and kind of crashed her office and sharing it with her right now. And so we moved in, we went to my grandma's funeral, we got through that. And then the next week was BOGO week. And that was, of course, crazy. And then the Saturday morning after BOGO week, well, actually right before that, through BOGO week, I was working really closely with some of my leaders because I just wanted to help them so much to reach their new rank and their goals. And oh my gosh, blue wasn't even on our radar at all. Like, I didn't even consider it an option for this month at all. But we just were like setting up all these things. I have a builder, Andrea Mines, who has been working towards silver for so long and working so hard for it. And she really wanted it this month. So we set up an event page, and I, without even telling her, I was like, I just set up this event page and contacted all our builders. I'm like, let's push for this with Andrea. And they were so excited and on board with it. And we did all these incentives and drawing prizes for like higher enrollments and everything. And then I kind of like, oh, that'll be fun to do this for my mom. My mom is one of my legs too, one of my builders. So I'm like, it'd be really fun to start a group and do this for my mom's team also. So we set one up for her team as well. And all of her builders were having fun with it and excited. And anyway, everything started kind of growing and coming together. And then Saturday morning, I looked at the numbers and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the closest I've ever been by far. You know, it's a blue. Mm-hmm. And, oh my gosh, should I actually consider it? Should I actually push for it? I mean, it was pretty far off, but it was still kind of, you know, within grasp. And I remember that night, oh my gosh, I didn't sleep at all, like no sleep. About 4:30 in the morning, I got up and I started making notes on my phone about the plans, how I would bring it together if I decided to do it. And then I started designing all these graphics. I came upstairs in my mom's office and started designing all these graphics for promotions and stuff. If I was going to do it, these are the promotions I would do and all this stuff. And then, so then Sunday morning, first I call Romy and I was like, oh my gosh, Romy, I think I might consider going for this. Like, and I had some questions for her, to get her opinion on a few things, you know, before I decided for sure. And then after that, I called every single one of my leaders that were in a position that needed to get to a certain point, you know. And I talked to Joe and I said, I don't think we could hit blue and actually make a profit, but I think we might be able to hit blue and come break even maybe, you know what I mean? Or even come close. And I feel like if we could just do it for our team, if we could just push and push and push and push and do it for our team and for our leaders, I feel like the excitement and the momentum and how awesome it would be for everybody. Oh my gosh, I feel like it would be so worth it and it would be so fun, you know? And even if we didn't get there, even if we didn't reach our goal and we didn't hit blue, just pushing for it, I think would be worth it because I feel like it would get everybody so excited and it would help with growth and momentum for everybody and just going for that goal together. And so we decided to do it, and it was like 6 days straight of I never hardly left Joe would bring me food. He would like carry it to my desk and set it down. Oh my gosh. And one night, and I'll be completely honest with you, one night my daughter, Ayla, told me that my hair smelled bad and that I should take a shower. It was awful. And I have like a little bit of like PTSD from it for a few days, I think, afterwards. And now I feel like that's why I got so sick because it was just everything, just all that time of like being so busy and not stopping. And oh my gosh. But when we actually realized we hit it, you know, it was like, it was just so emotional and so overwhelming. And I think more so because, and I loved hearing all the stories from everybody else, especially like how Courtney and Michael were talking about just getting their leaders there. That was what was so amazing for them. And that was 100% what was the most exciting part for me, was just seeing all the rank advancements because of deciding to go for it and everybody pushing together and everybody reaching their goals. And it was just, that was the best part by far. It was incredible. So I think
awesome.
I think that pretty much sums it up. But yeah, it was awesome. And then I think and then I thought, you know, on the first, I'll just sleep all day. you know, and then of course, oh, frankincense promo and all the other stuff. Yeah, I can't sleep all day.
We're very happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yep. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Yep.
Thank
Very good job. And I think that that's what, I mean, the common thread is really, we just want our leaders to succeed. We want the people on our team to succeed. And that's where the joy comes in. I think sometimes people are afraid to succeed because they're afraid to look selfish, and they're afraid to look successful because they're afraid it's going to look like it's about them. But as we really grasp this, it really isn't about us. Yeah, it's amazing to achieve the ranks. When we go for a goal and we go for that rank, it is awesome. It's amazing. That adrenaline rush, like you're talking about, you know, really pushing, and when you really are laser focused and you're running for the goal, and it's awesome. But I'm telling you what, I stayed on my computer all day Thursday into the night. I didn't go to bed. I felt like I was working with you because it was so exciting to be watching what was happening with everybody. And that is just amazing to be part of life-changing events in the people's lives that you care about. And I just think that it's awesome. So I'm really, really proud of all of you. Great job.
It's not just the silver and above ranks either. I mean, just we had 92 new elites this month. If half of those people make silver, that's another 50.
Yeah.
50 silvers. There were over 100 premiers. So, I mean, those people are building businesses. You don't get to elite. Not very many people get to elite and have silver that close and don't go for it. So it's just amazing how many more we have coming up. And I mean, I'm going to just have to quit making buses. That's all. There's just no room. But it's so neat to see that many lives changed. And we had almost 2,000 enrollments this month. It's over 37,000 people on our team now. It's just, you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
We didn't get to go to convention this year, but we went 2 years ago, and we just looked, and we looked inside the what's the one?
Stadium, the arena.
Which one?
Energy Solutions.
Yeah, we looked in there, and then we looked in the Salt Palace, and then that's our team. All those people, that's how big our team is. You just can't even imagine it. It's crazy. We're so happy and blessed to have you guys with us.
Yeah. One of my favorite recognitions in Rockstars this last month is, there was one, and I can't remember who did it, but it was she was talking about how her team had just started and they had just got to manager, and it was and there was several in there like that. And one, I love that people are comfortable and excited to do that and not intimidated by the higher ranks, and they are recognizing that success because it's just awesome. So every rank and every step in our business is important. It is a step towards the next dream. And so I love that happened. So it's all powerful. It all means something. And you guys are just awesome. There's just no words.
And speaking of that, we have 2 more on here to recognize. Jackie Ginther made silver. Jackie, how's that feel?
It's pretty awesome. I've been reaching for silver for about a year. I wanted to be silver by convention, and it didn't happen, but I was getting really, really close. And with the BOGOs, thanks for the BOGOs, it happened. It was literally like 10:30 at night when I got my last order in, and I sat up until I saw my back office change. I even took a screenshot because I needed to make sure it was real.
That's right.
Awesome. So yeah, it's awesome, and I'm aiming for silver again this month because I want to do Diamond Club. So I left my job and I'm doing DoTERRA full time, and it's awesome. I have never been happier. I love the freedom. I being with my family. It's just perfect. So I need to really propel this business forward.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Way to go.
The other one, you're in the dark. You're going to have to turn on your lights. And
she knew it was coming.
Cindy Garst is gold this month. Can't hide anymore.
No, I'm not trying. I just took a shower. I don't look as pretty as the rest of them, so I'm going to stay in the dark.
You look great.
Thanks. No, I would agree with everybody else. It was pretty unbelievable, and just seeing how it has just excited my team. And that's what we've talked about. It's exciting to make a bigger check, but it's just not near as much fun if nobody else is. And so I feel like we're finally to the stage that they're buying in and they're seeing, and we're getting some schools on board, which is my heart too, with oils and just some things I never thought would happen. So it's awesome to see Joyce go diamond and lead the rest of us. And even though I snuck her way to the great banquet, and we still made our goal, even though we gave 3.5 days or 3 days to God. So I think our focus is in the right place. And even at the beginning of this call, I had a phone call from one of my downline that has adopted special needs kids, and she had a class with a nurse and 2 of the caseworkers tonight. And so here I'm trying to listen and be on the phone. She said, and they're all 3 going to enroll. And, she's never been that excited. And so it's just a beautiful thing to know that we're doing God's work, and it's just very humbling to realize. I got the call. I needed to transfer some people, and it was just an unbelievable moment that afternoon when I called, and the silver guy said he'd walk upstairs and check on it, and he came back 2 minutes later and he said, it's done.
Nice.
I wanted to burst into tears because you work so hard, and it's like, oh, it's done. So
awesome.
It took a while to register, but I'm just so thankful for all of you guys, because we are blessed to be on an amazing team. And it shows that it's not it's 2.5 years for me. So we talk about not worrying about the time, but I just want to encourage other people that it took a little bit longer, but that's okay. It's still gold, so we'll take it.
Congratulations. Very, very happy for you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I want to give one tip as a leader before we leave. So actually 2 probably. We've talked about it before. Cross-line relationships, I believe in 110%. Reach across the teams, utilize rock stars, whatever you need to do, build those cross-team relationships. Those are amazing. I watch the relationships that are happening, like Jeff and Christy spent time with Laura Sohn this summer. Like they are far away, removed from each other's teams. The power in the cross-team relationships are I can't express enough how powerful those are. And you as a leader, I encourage you, don't stop at a certain level with the relationships that you build with the people on your team. Don't stop with the people that you are enrolling personally. There's some people that they are hesitant to reach out and reach down to the people on the team. And I've just I never worried about that. I never thought that it was a problem until other people were talking about it on other teams. I just thought that was just, I mean, it was just that's just what you do. And so, I really, they call it taprooting now, and it's taprooting for the business aspect of it. And that is powerful for your business, but reaching down and building relationships with the people on your team, no matter where they are on the team, is it's very rewarding. There's no words to really express how that feels. Just build the relationships with the people on your team, because it's awesome to be in your arena. And you want to be in the arena of the people on your team, to be able to cheer them on and to just be part of that success, and to just be that person that it just is. So that's what I got.
Anybody got any questions, comments, anything else? Are we giving some away, Kenzie?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's like 9:30.
Holy mackerel.
My gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys.
Okay, I got to say one more thing before she gives something away. So tomorrow is our 21st anniversary. So I just want all of you to know, I really love this lady. Okay, now you can give some away.
Okay. I got two things. The first one, it's for the same person. We're going to pick one winner, is a balance. And the other one is Romy's chair banner that says diamond.
Awesome! Great idea!
Let's see that.
Okay. You zoom in on that bad boy.
Convention.
Is everyone's camera on, ready for the raffle?
Yeah. Remember, you got to have your camera on. Jacqueline Spain, you can't win.
She's got it on.
Oh, you got to have your face.
I'm driving, so I'm dark.
Oh,
be careful.
The winner is Jennifer Yates.
Woohoo!
Whoa!
Jennifer!
Yay! Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you. I'm blushing.
She doesn't need balance. Give that to somebody else.
I want that banner. Thank you.
When you go to leadership, if you have, when you guys get diamond, grab all the diamond banners, because they're fun to give away. Don't tell anybody I told you.
And they're cracking down on stealing them now.
I didn't say that. Oh, we should have shut the recording off.